I recently stumbled across something wildly unusual and potentially game-changing. The Chinese service Hunyuan 3D. Its concept is mind-blowingly simple yet brilliant. You upload a single photo of a person, and it generates their 3D model. Essentially, a digital twin created from just one snapshot. This idea completely hooked me, especially since I've been deeply involved in 3D visualization for architectural, landscape, and urban projects for years. Almost every project I work on goes through a detailed visualization phase, eventually turning into videos that showcase the logic, concept, environment, scale, and dynamics of a future space. And in these videos, there are always little people, faceless abstract figures from standard libraries. Their role, to give viewers a reference point for proportions. Here's a person, so that's how tall the building is, or how wide the street is. Then it hit me. What if I could replace these anonymous stand-ins with myself? The idea of bringing my own figure into the digital space of a project felt so wild and promising that I couldn't resist experimenting. For the test, I didn't pick a random snapshot but a photograph that tells a story on its own. It was taken in the ancient Italian city of Ancona, where I was working in my usual rhythm, exploring the historic center, riding my InMotion V8 Sport unicycle, bought for €500 on a local equivalent of Craigslist, pausing at iconic buildings and making quick sketches. In the frame, I'm captured in a typical moment of drawing, my unicycle underfoot, a sketchbook and fountain pen in hand, the majestic portal of a cathedral behind me, and an open plaza with stunning views and perspectives stretching out in front. Scenes that would later inspire larger paintings. This was the photo I sent to Hunyuan. The result, to put it mildly, was astonishing. The model wasn't a perfect replica, but it was recognizable. The system captured my characteristic pose, overall silhouette, and clothing details. Most importantly, it was unmistakably me, not some generic figure in a blazer, not a stock character but a specific person engaged in a distinct activity. This outcome sparked a cascade of thoughts about practical applications. 3D visualization in my work is more than just a pretty picture. It's a critical tool for design and project sales. It allows me to verify and showcase proportions, scale, human perception of space and atmosphere, long before a project comes to life. It's a way to step into the project at the idea stage. And I always sign my projects: concept, architecture, landscaping, 3D visualization, and modeling. Eduarv Kichigin. This is deliberate. Behind the visualization lies my thought process, my concept, my design solutions, and my unique perspective on the space being created. It's not just a render, it's visualized thinking. When I saw my recognizable 3D model wearing a blazer, holding a sketchbook and pen, riding a unicycle, I realized a powerful alternative to a text signature. Why say the work is mine when I can be in it? By physically appearing in every scene, every walkthrough of the project's virtual space, I replaced generic human figures with my digital self, turning my presence into a non-verbal yet crystal clear visual signature. Authorship becomes an inseparable part of the visual narrative. 3D library human figures are the unsung heroes of architectural visualization. They add scale, bring environments to life, and give the eye an anchor. But their biggest flaw, they're utterly generic and formulaic. These are hollow symbols from standard libraries, stripped of character and meaning, mere static backdrops. Realizing this, I saw replacing them with my own model not just as swapping out a figure, but as a missed opportunity to transform the entire perception of a project. First, its instant recognizability. The project stops being an abstraction, it becomes mine, marked by a personal presence. Second, it's a damn elegant visual signature. Like an artist signing a canvas, but here the signature is three-dimensional, woven into the space itself. Third, it's direct author identification. The viewer doesn't see a detached observer, but the creator engaging with their own environment. This is my scale, my story. Anonymity gives way to a personalized narrative. The beauty of this approach lies in its dual impact. It maintains functionality while adding a powerful tool for self-presentation. The core purpose of the human figure, to provide scale, remains unchanged. Viewers still understand, here's a person, so the building is this tall, the space is this large. This is the foundation of a visualization's persuasiveness. But a second, equally vital layer emerges: the author's recognizability. When the same distinctive figure appears across different projects and contexts, standing with a sketchbook, sitting at a tablet, or surveying a site, the project sheds its anonymity. It gains a face and a story. This is no longer just a render from the internet, but the work of a specific individual, with their unique style, manner, and tools. Here, the psychology of perception comes into play. The presence of a living, even if digital person transforms the viewing experience into a personal narrative, creating context and potentially an emotional connection. The project now has an author, which fosters greater trust, interest, and engagement. The visualization becomes more than a mere display. It's a story where the author is both the protagonist and the guide. The potential of this technology feels truly limitless to me. Using oneself in architectural renders is just the starting point. Imagine integrating personalized 3D avatars into VR, virtual reality, or AR, augmented reality, instead of an abstract digital placeholder. The client interacts with a space through the recognizable digital self of the designer. This dramatically enhances the sense of presence and immersion, making the project presentation experience, I believe, far more impactful. Another direction is creating an entire library of yourself in characteristic work poses and scenarios. Sketching details, discussing plans with a client, exploring a design space, or simply contemplating finished project solutions. This isn't just stylistic consistency, it's a visual narrative about the work process, showing how the project's creator lives within the project and demonstrates its use cases. You could go even further. Place your digital self in historical reconstructions or even fantastical worlds. Picture this. You, the architect, literally walking through the streets of newly designed city districts or exploring parks on the other side of the globe. It's a powerful statement. The creator, present in their creation. This transcends architecture, becoming a universal language of visual self-expression and authorial identity. It feels like there's something profound here. Visualizing an idea, crafting a stunning image of a possible future, that's one thing, but visually embodying the author, the one who conceived, developed, designed, and brought that idea to life, who poured their intellect, experience, and literally their own scale into it, that's something else entirely. This isn't just about the technical perfection of a render or the detail of a model. It's about asserting the author's presence as an integral part of the creative act. The question arises, how far can this idea be pushed? Could we create an entire visual system where the author becomes an organic part of the project? Not just as the creator behind the scenes, but as a physical, even if digital embodiment within it. Where else, beyond architectural visualization, could this principle of literally embedding oneself apply? Not as a logo in the corner, but as an active participant, observer, or character in the space, process, or story. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious about the horizons this approach could open. And if your work involves visualization, architecture, or environmental design, try creating your own digital double. It might just become your most expressive, undeniable signature. Check out my architectural, landscape, and urban planning projects in the video description and profile header. Like, repost, subscribe. I'm Eduarv Kichigin.